After countless flights on all of Singapore Airlines' wide-body jets, on large armchairs and even in a double bed, we are now heading to the unspectacular Boeing 737. But sometimes a short hop on a small plane in Asia can be more fun than a long-planned long-haul flight with a bed somewhere else. Let's board Singapore Airlines' smallest plane and get surprised in their simplest business class. So here we are on Singapore Airlines' most, let's say, simple aircraft and simple cabin. That's the Boeing 737-800. In business class we have these recliner seats, which are just really comfortable and just fine for such a short hop of 100 minutes, and still much better than any airline would offer you on European flights in Europe. So there you go. There's no TV screens here in the seat in front of you, but every business class passenger has a tablet. Then you have a really good noise cancelling headsets. Then there's very plush pillows and a very nice blanket for you. And then we have real paper menus. So there's a real paper menu on this short flight. You can select from a couple of dishes for lunch. Then as a welcome drink, there was a selection of champagne, orange juice and water, and they have a real good champagne here on board. Actually, that's one of those champagnes that you really taste the difference. That is a really good one, even if it's under, let's say, 100 euros or $100. A really nice Piper Heidsieck vintage champagne from 2014, and really for everybody easy to taste the difference. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about all this later, and now we're just heading for takeoff.
Please give us your attention as we bring you through this important safety briefing and on a journey through Singapore.
Phuket Airport's new and modern international terminal was opened in 2016, while the old terminal has been handling all domestic flights since then. Before the flight we went to the lounge, and for Singapore Airlines that's the Thai Airways Royal Orchid Lounge, which is pretty but also really tiny and rather meager when it comes to food and beverages. Just like in the domestic terminal, the Coral Lounge, which is also accessible with a priority pass, is by far the better choice in Phuket. So we just took off 5 minutes ago. We're still climbing. You see Phuket down there on the left side, and the crew is already preparing the lunch service very, very fast after takeoff. So that's pretty impressive. There's a selection of 3 different main courses. That's chicken, beef or fish. Then there's an appetizer, there's a dessert, there's banana cheesecake. Then there, of course, you have a selection of bread. There's tea and coffee. You have all kinds of soft drinks, beers. You have different white wines and red wines. There's port wine, and as I already mentioned, there's a really good champagne on board this flight on this short hop. Piper Heidsieck 2014 vintage. That's a really nice champagne. It doesn't get better in business class, that's for sure, and that's one of those champagnes that you really taste the difference. Very easy for everybody to taste. It's a really good quality. So lunch is actually really nice. There's a salad with tuna, so kind of a Caesar salad actually with tuna, and then I opted for fish. There's a selection of chicken, beef or fish. I'm having the red curry with fish, and it's really nice, sweet and sour, very well done. And then there's banana cheesecake and some garlic bread. And the flight attendant saw that I'm not touching the rice, and the reason actually is that I want to save on carbs. I know that's totally ridiculous when you see all the amount of food that I'm having on this flight and also the rest of this day still. Anyway, she thought I should have some beef. So I'm having some beef now on top of the fish, and of course later the banana cheesecake. So the beef was actually a really nice idea. It was very nice, peppery, and very, very special actually. And I just got a little tiny sip of champagne, but also some double espresso because I really have to watch it a little, because I still have quite a lot to see today. I'm not going into Singapore today actually, but I'm gonna spend a lot of time, many hours in Singapore airport, just to make a report about all the Singapore Airlines lounges over there. That's the Silver Chris Lounge, the First Class Lounge, and also the private room. And the private room is reserved to first class and first class suites passengers only. So it's gonna be really interesting. I'm really excited to do that. And tomorrow I'm gonna go to Jakarta very, very shortly, actually only, just to show the short haul first class of Singapore Airlines, then going back on Garuda Airlines to Singapore, and then actually go to a concert. I'm gonna attend a concert at the Singapore Concert Hall tomorrow, where a conductor friend of mine is gonna conduct a Beethoven piano concert. So that's actually the full reason of going, on top of doing all those reports for you. On this trip I was on the road and in the air for 3 days, and my companion was the wonderful hand luggage from Level 8, which was not only a real eye-catcher in Singapore, but above all was superbly equipped and moved like by itself on its smooth wheels. But also the checked luggage is of excellent quality, and having traveled with some of the most expensive luggages out there, I will stick now with Level 8. With a link and discount code in the video description, you can get all suitcases and accessories of Level 8 with an exclusive discount. Enjoy shopping. Well, the cabin staff here is really pretty amazing. I mean, they won awards in the past years already a couple times as best cabin crew worldwide of all airlines, and I'm starting to understand why they're so attentive, even on this short hop. On my many flights with Singapore Airlines, the experience with the crew was usually excellent. There was only one exception, which you can see in my report from Singapore to Dubai. Besides some small yet important details, it all depends on the crew, who were once again really special on this flight. They're very attentive. They ask the passengers here all the time if they still want to have some more champagne, some more to eat, if they're happy and everything like that. So really nice. And then of course I spilled some champagne. I know, classic. But the flight attendant here didn't even see it. But still, she was here 2 seconds later. I don't know how she did that. She probably heard some glass clanging or something. She was here 2 seconds later and cleaned up my it wasn't much, yeah, but instead of like giving me the look or something, she asked if I would like to have some more champagne, very elegantly, and that was it. So very, very impressive and so nice to experience. Singapore Airlines has been using the Boeing 737 to Phuket for quite many years already, and in the recent past they used the Boeing 737 MAX that has really lie flat seats even on a narrow body plane, so that's not bad. But I mean, these recliner seats here are just fine for such a short hop. On many other regional destinations they use wide body planes, and that's mostly the Boeing 787 Dreamliner and the Airbus A350, sometimes also the Boeing 777. For example, you see a report on my channel to Bali, from Singapore to Bali on the Dreamliner, and also to Bangkok or from Bangkok to Singapore on the Airbus 350. And there they use very nice seats too, of course, lie-flat seats that, for example, Turkish Airlines uses on their newer wide-body planes on long-haul routes. Also Vistara uses them on their long-haul flights to Paris, Frankfurt and London, and Singapore Airlines regionally. And even to Dubai, they use this kind of regional business class. Even though it's quite far from Singapore, it's still as a regional route. They count it as a regional route. And then, of course, there's the very famous first-class suites. And there's also a report about that on my channel. I'm flying the first-class suites from Frankfurt to New York, and that's quite spectacular with a double bed on a plane. Not cheap, but less expensive are the Singapore Airlines first-class suites from Singapore to India. An absolutely unique experience that is definitely affordable with miles if you get a saver fare. The experience was much better than from Frankfurt to New York, and the report on that will be out before the end of this year. So we're descending into Singapore already. How was this flight? Well, first of all, the crew was really outstanding. Such a lovely crew. They were super attentive, super polite. I mean, they addressed me with my last name from the very beginning and every time. And so that's really nice. Then they have 3 dishes to select from on such a short flight, and all really good. Then they have not just some sparkling wine, but they have really good champagne. Really good one. 2014 vintage Heidsieck, Piper Heidsieck. So that's a really nice one, and you can't really taste it. Very nice and soft sensation on the palate. So really nice. Then they don't have screens in the seats, but still they give you entertainment because they just give you tablets. And they just don't say, well, we don't have it. No, they do. They just have tablets and they have noise-cancelling headsets, so you're gonna be entertained as well. Then they have paper menus. So altogether, that's a really nice experience. You can book this flight, of course, just regularly. Mostly this would be a commute to a long-haul flight, I guess, on Singapore Airlines. But still, you can also just exchange miles for that. And Amex, for example, American Express is a points exchange partner with Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer. And it's a very smart way to exchange your KrisFlyer, or your Amex points actually, because you need, I think at the moment, only 24,000 miles for this flight. But you can also go on to Bali. It doesn't matter if you go from Phuket to Singapore or all the way until Bali. You still pay only 24,000 miles and you have the lounge in between. So that's a really very good value for points, very good value for miles. And also they don't have a lot of fees here, while other airlines charge you $200-300. Here they charge only $20 as fees for this award flight. So it's really a fantastic value. Absolute recommendation. So my dear ones, we've arrived in Singapore. I really hope you liked this report. If yes, give me a thumbs up. That's really important. And also really important is to subscribe to this channel. You're going to be rewarded with really exciting aviation reports and also destination reports from all continents of the world. And one really exciting report would be this one over here. So take a look and see you there in a moment here at Travel Sing Fly.